So the party eventually makes their way to the Haven sewers. They find an entrance and just enter the way the map showed them to. And it was a standard dungeon crawl. I'd drawn up some standard 5-foot space maps to kind of help them along their way. And at this point, we were still playing 3.5 rules. And yeah, man, that's just not my style. It didn't quite work out the way I thought it might. I really wanted to move forward and do a more advanced version of Dungeons & Dragons play. Not that I didn't truly enjoy Labyrinth Lord, which I did. It's just I've always had more of a liking for the ability to have a race as well as a class. So yeah, 3.5's the books I had on hand, so that's what we went with. So we're moving through the sewers, and they have a couple random encounters. They encountered, all in all, probably in groups of 2, 6 zombies, I believe 3 giant spiders, as well as I had a written encounter in where they actually had combat with the mad jailer Marcus's prized ethereal marauder named Bob. Which they did, and they successfully defeat Bob and the zombies and the spiders, and they move on to find the side entrance to the castle dungeon. And after searching through there, they do come to Jailer Marcus's office, and they confront him, and he's completely loopy. He's an old wizard, and he's seems to have just lost his mind. He's casting magic at them and just doing insane things. I've opened the spell book and I just start rolling randomly. I think I flipped a book and just that spell, and then rolled a d6 to see which character he fired it at. And cast like a steel wall on one of the orcs, and he failed his dexterity check, smashing him, dealing him some falling damage. And cast a magic missile on Veleth. He teleported away, laughing hysterically before they had a chance to kill him. And so the party moves on, and since after they determining that this is just his office, they move on to the other side of the jail to find cells just packed full of skeletons and zombies. And of course, these are the prisoners that Marcus has turned undead. And of course, this is a great crime in Haven. This is not something that's just going to be allowed. So something's definitely gone wrong here, as we have a government official, the city jailer. He's lost his mind and he's turning undead. And he's why? So they set camp for the night, and they'd had some damage accrued through the various combats and random encounters they'd had, and throughout the night, I'd made some rolls for random encounters, but gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they didn't encounter anything. Oddly enough, they found it comfortable to make camp, so to speak, I guess, as much as you make camp in a dungeon crawl, in the prison where the skeletons and zombies were. I couldn't sleep like that. Forget that. And after it all healed up and gaining their spells and whatnot back, they moved back in to search Jailer Marcus's office. And inside, they find his desk, and he got a random assorted office items, nothing real noteworthy or anything. But they do find a hidden compartment in the wall holding Jailer Marcus's logbook. And on pulling it, they failed a perception check, but succeeded in a dexterity check, a high DC dexterity check at that, where Ladea, the dwarven fighter, had actually successfully dodged a poison needle trap connected to removing this book from this chamber. And so they found the logbook they're supposed to have found. They've, as far as they know, dealt with Jailer Marcus, but in removing this book, the wall behind them slides open, and they find an entrance to a secret hallway. And they follow it around and eventually encounter a room with 2 ogres inside. And this, of course, it was getting a little late, and again, my mouth was just throbbing. I was in agony, so we called it a night.